We begin with a story breaking overnight. Charleston County deputies say they're investigating a fatal wreck. There's a live look right now at that scene on Highway 162 in the Hollywood area. Dispatchers told us that a vehicle collided with a train. Several agencies on that scene right now, including CSX and the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. That road is currently closed to traffic while crews clean up that scene. Drivers now encouraged to find an alternate route to get on Highway 17 if you are headed into Charleston. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning. A home garage reportedly caught fire in West Ashley around the same time. Fire crews called out to Alyssa Drive just before 2 o'clock this morning. You can see new video there of that response. Our eyes on the scene said there was no visible damage to that home itself. No word yet on a cause there. And it didn't stop there. We also got word of a reported shooting. That happened in North Charleston. Dispatchers say that officers were called out to Chicora Avenue just before 1:30 this morning. That street sits right behind Military Magnet. We sent a crew there, but they didn't find anything. We've already reached out to a police spokesperson for more about that incident. Let's get an update in the First Warning Weather Center. We are currently under a flash flood watch here in the Low Country. Meteorologist Emily Gracie joins us right now to tell us about the potential problem spots. Em, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
All right, Chris, thanks. New this morning, Colleton County deputies say they've arrested this man. He is Jelani Aiken. Aiken was wanted in connection with a murder case that happened on Acorn Road. Deputies found that victim there Thursday. Still unknown who that person was. You can stay with ABC News 4 for an update on Aiken's exact charges set for later today. We've also got word of a convenience store shootout. That happened in Georgetown County. Deputies say that two men were arguing in the parking lot of the 521 Mini Mart Thursday night. That store sits just a couple of miles east of Georgetown. Shots were fired moments later. We're told that no one was hurt. No arrests have been made thus far. The case is still being investigated. And now to a developing story. It's happening on James Island. Not clear when homeowners will be able to return to the Pelican Point Villas just off Folly Road. Charleston city leaders deemed that property unsafe. Structural engineering reports say that a stairwell is near collapse failure. Residents were told to leave that property on Thursday. Many had to think on their feet to find someplace to go.
It's terrifying. I take my dog up and down these stairs 3-4 times a day.
City leaders now working on a temporary solution that will allow homeowners to return to their units while those repairs are being made. Dorchester Paws remains closed today. Leaders say that excessive flooding in the area has made the property unsafe for animals, staff, and visitors. They say that some kennels are actually flooding. Workers are currently in the process of moving those animals to a safer location. No word yet when they plan to reopen. And Patriots Point is hosting a free symposium today aboard the USS Yorktown. We're told that event will center around the Coast Guard's time at war. Experts will offer a discussion around key moments, including the sinking of a German U-boat during World War II off the coast of North Carolina. That event starts at 7 tonight. Parking fees will still apply. Also happening tonight, Dorchester County celebrating the life of a former councilman. A viewing is planned for 68-year-old Willie Davis. He died of natural causes last week. Davis had served as a councilman since 1991. That viewing will be held at St. Mark United Methodist Church in St. George from 6 to 8 tonight. And a homegoing celebration is set for noon tomorrow at Lovely Hill Baptist Conference Center, also in St. George. Now to a fragile situation in the Northeast. Officials are urging people in one Virginia town to evacuate. They say that a dam could give way at any moment, all due to heavy rains. ABC's Ryan Smith tracking that wicked weather for us.
Overnight, evacuations underway in Lynchburg, Virginia, as fears of a possible dam failure rise. 6 inches of rain in just a few hours has pushed the College Lake to fill beyond capacity. And officials say if the dam gives way, water levels in the town would rise 17 feet in less than 10 minutes. Rescue crews worked into the night, pulling people to safety in the floodwaters.
We have our rescue boats here, and they have been searching around the apartments.
Dozens of people in this apartment building in the nearby town of Timberlake also forced to evacuate after water surrounded the building.
I want you to pay attention.
In New Jersey, powerful storms were even too much for Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Everyone in the packed MetLife Stadium was forced to leave their seats as strong wind, rain, and lightning approached before the couple's On the Run 2 concert. Farther south,
the water is still rising.
Homes and businesses swamped in a Georgia town as floodwaters overtake Cave Spring. And in Arizona, more evacuations as a monsoon brings this massive wall of dust, heavy rain, and more flooding. Ryan Smith, ABC News, New York.
Treacherous situation there. And looking ahead, the Ridgeville Police Department is holding its first ever back-to-school bash. That's happening tomorrow at the Ridgeville Community Center from 8 in the morning until noon. We're told there's going to be food and games there, and kids who show up going to receive a free school supplies and backpacks as well. The sales tax holiday is now underway here in South Carolina. 6% of state sales tax will be cut from school supplies, book bags, computers, and more. Dorm room and some household items also included. But not everything is going to be tax-free this weekend. We're going to show you which items you will not be saving money on coming up in our next half hour. And of course, we know that back to school can be a bit stressful, so we're working to keep you sane. On Monday, August 6th, you can call our back-to-school help hotline. Representatives from the Berkeley County, Charleston County, and Colleton County, as well as Dorchester District 4 school districts, will be in our studio taking your calls live. Again, that's coming up on Monday from 5 to 7:30 in the evening. You can also find start dates, calendars, and other helpful information right now at our website. It's abcnews4.com. A new aquatic center will soon make a splash in the Low Country. We're going to tell you where that's located and why leaders say it's going to be perfect for students. Plus, moving companies breaking glass, figuratively speaking, the reason several of them are being sued this morning, and the warning one couple has for many homeowners. These statistics are shocking. Here in the U.S., a home is broken into every 15 seconds. That's according to the Safe Family Foundation, and most come right through the front door.
Not too difficult if they really want to get in, because you just don't have much strength now. The wood that comes in for new construction, the actual jam and everything is made out of not made out of the old school stuff.
But shoring up your home can be as simple as a few turns of a drill.
You can kind of hear this when it goes into here. Starting to grab into a 2x4.
Larry Spears has been a certified locksmith for 35 years.
We started in '81.
So if you open it up, that's all you're getting right there. And you only need to go there.
He says defending your home starts with your deadbolt.
If you don't have the hole drilled deep enough, the full deadbolt's not getting it. So then you've got a weak spot there.
You'll want to drill that out to fully engage the lock, but even that won't stop a motivated criminal and a well-placed kick. Protecting your pad comes down to two little screws.
So that's what you see in a lot of strikes. That's what we come with our LSDAs, and this is what you can do to actually support it. Because you get into the 2x4, we can do these.
When we peel the strike plate back, here's what we found, these 3/4 inch screws. Larry recommends you put in these 3-inch screws, making the door exponentially stronger.
Maybe twice, 3 times stronger.
It sounds too good to be true, right? Two 34-cent screws are going to boost your door's durability. We put it to the test. We drilled the strike plate, changed the deadbolt, and put in those 3-inch screws. And I took my best shot.
It's a little heavier than I thought it would be. I kicked this door about 15, 20 times right now. It's not budging.
So we swapped out those screws to the standard issue 3/4 inch, and watch what happened.
Watch how easy it is.
Not only did the door kick in, we shattered the frame, even took some paint off the wall. Proof that those 34-cent screws are actually a pretty solid investment.
You can go buy a pack of screws for $5 and you get, I think, 25, 30 screws. So if you don't have a drill, go to your neighbor, borrow his drill, say, hey, okay, if I can borrow your drill, then, I'll give you the screws and you go do it to your house.
Doing so, according to this local longtime locksmith, will bolster your abode and may keep those unwanted guests out.
I mean, they might do 1, 2, maybe 3, but at a point you're going to walk away and go to somebody's house that is going to be easier to break into.
Working for you, John Bruce, ABC News 4.
All right, 1050.
You've seen them playing out on the news, a suspect dodging, weaving, at times narrowly missing other drivers.
But it's not just a danger for us, it's a danger to every citizen in our community and a danger to the offender we're chasing.
According to pursuitforchange.org, a national database that tracks chase-related fatalities, 385 people were killed as a result of police chases in 2014. 73 of those people hadn't even committed a crime, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Law enforcement now opening the door to a new solution in the form of this small homing beacon. Now on patrol in over 100 apartments across the country.
A GPS tracking device mounted in the front of a police cruiser? Sure, it sounds like something out of a spy movie. But the police chief here in Byron, Georgia, has a message for his counterparts in South Carolina and across the nation. This technology could save lives.
Everything else around you just tunnels down to one little small hole.
Chief Wesley Cannon has felt the blood rush and adrenaline pump when trying to track down a criminal.
Making mistakes at 100, 120, 130 miles an hour, they're most always fatal. And the only way to take the danger out of a car chase is take the speed out of a car chase. Take the chase away.
Go ahead. Byron, we're just off the interstate.
And that's exactly what he's doing with the help of Star Chase. During a chase just like this mock pursuit we were taking on, GPS units are fired from the front of a cruiser and stick onto a fleeing vehicle.
The closer you are, the more accurate you are. I mean, you don't, like at that distance, getting up close on them like that, you don't miss.
Officers can then back off, slow down, turn their lights off.
Yeah, on this one, it's the blue dot.
And track the car on their computers.
We're still chasing. We're not going to stop doing that, but we're doing it blindly through the offender, through GPS. We have technology now that allow us to track anybody, anywhere, anytime. Why not use it?
Chief Cannon says the results are almost instantaneous.
You can see the speed of the vehicle that they were chasing go from 100 miles an hour to 90 to 80 to 70 to 60 to 50, and then him jump off the interstate.
But in Byron, Star Chase came with an added bonus, a major drop in crime.
I've been hearing it on the street. Man, they got that GPS gun, you better watch out. And I want our criminals to know what we have in our arsenals to catch them, so they don't even come to Byron to commit a crime. Because if you do, and if we get behind you, we will catch you.
Yep, there they are.
So could it work here?
I think the GPS aspect could be a significant game changer.
Here comes number 1 lane.
Charleston County Sheriff Al Cannon himself was involved in a high-speed chase 5 years ago.
I said, you could have killed a lot of people out there today.
It got so intense when the whole thing was over, Sheriff Cannon slapped the suspect, a reaction, he says, to that driver putting so many lives in danger.
When you're dealing with somebody who's using a car as a deadly weapon, he is just as deadly, if not even more so, because he's got 3,000 pounds of metal that he's projectile going down the highway, as somebody that's firing a firearm.
And at $5 grand a pop, Chief Cannon admits Star Chase can be expensive.
You can't put a value on a human life. Number one, your officers, your citizens, or even the bad guy you're chasing. 90% of car chases end up in accidents. It's gonna happen. And a high-speed accident is a recipe for disaster.
So will that so-called GPS gun come to the low country? Sheriff Cannon says he's taking a wait-and-see approach.
I think it's early in the development yet. I think there's a way to go.
Chief Cannon says he hopes to have his entire department outfitted with the Star Chase technology by the end of the year. In Byron, Georgia, John Bruce, ABC News 4.
Distance plus cover equals time. We make better decisions when we have more time to consider that decision.
Sergeant Carter Baldwin takes a tactical, almost mathematical approach to preparing his officers for life out on the street.
Insert a loaded magazine into the magazine well. Once it locks in, the release is here. Press that and it'll just jump right out.
And he's constantly examining.
When we grip the weapon, you want to make sure that your hand is high on the back.
Reviewing.
Good hit.
And stressing not only safety.
We will never point a firearm at anything we don't want to kill or destroy.
But also good decision making.
It's one of the most critical skills that we have to maintain, but it's one of the ones that we use the least frequently. That's why we have to train it so often.
So I strapped in.
Turn you back to me real quick.
It's heavier than I thought.
And buckled up.
I'm going to place this weapon in your holster. I want to give you a few practice draws. Grab the top of the slide, rack it to the rear. I'll take a couple of shots at that window. There you go.
Then it was time to hit the training course. 3 scenarios testing more than just my aim.
Inside this room are several targets that are just paper targets. Some of them are presenting you with a deadly force threat, some are not. So you'll make a decision whether it's necessary to shoot one. If so, do so. If not, don't.
And to get the blood flowing and adrenaline pumping,
15
burpees.
All right, go ahead and draw your weapon and head on inside.
3 shots fired. 3 targets hit.
Good decision making.
I don't know what that guy's got.
You were able to see that that guy's not holding a firearm, that guy is not holding a firearm, and this same guy actually is holding a firearm, and we engaged the correct guys.
My newfound confidence, however, short-lived.
You're being dispatched to a local park for a complaint of a gentleman behaving erratically. He's walking around talking to himself.
Sir, can I talk to you for just a second, please?
After ignoring several commands, the suspect threw a ball.
Sir, that's a knife. Put that down right now. You're gonna have to freeze.
My heart rate skyrocketed.
Sir, stay right where you are.
Hands shaking.
Sir?
My movements staggered.
I'm not gonna tell you again. Back up. Sir, I'm gonna need you to get on your knees, put the weapon down.
My reaction?
You understand me?
Not to shoot.
On your knees. On your knees.
But was this the right call?
Put your hands behind your back.
Honestly, a really good job. Difficult situation, the person's not communicating with you. And when he pulls that knife out, a lot of people might have shot him right there. And he's presenting a deadly force threat at you. You gave him the benefit of the doubt, that which is what we try to encourage everyone to do.
Baldwin says using force comes down to 3 factors: ability to harm, opportunity, and jeopardy. But as I quickly discovered in our next exercise, sometimes you just don't have time to weigh the options.
A person at the park that has a suspicious bulge under his clothing. All right, go ahead and begin.
Police, freeze!
He's shooting everywhere!
All right, John, good shot. Did he need to get shot?
No, he did not need to get shot.
Okay. So why did you shoot him?
Someone was running at me, and before he yelled help, I pulled the trigger.
And that's just demonstrative of how quickly we have to make decisions, life or death decisions.
That shooting, unjustified. My reflexes simply took over.
And I've seen very similar scenarios with police officers that have been police officers for a while. That's a difficult situation for anyone. So that's not to say that we're going to make the right decision every single time. We're people too. And we're subject to the same stresses that everyone else is.
And while it may be a polarizing time for police officers, Baldwin says all his officers need is a little understanding.
It's a reminder to us as police officers to be sensitive to the considerations of the people that we police. And it's, I think, a reminder to the community that we're humans and we really are here. We care about you.
All right, end exercise.